Coming up, launch of SpaceX's Falcon 9 goes flawless, but Dragon, not so much.
Get involved with a Golden Spy company via a video contest.
Curiosity is on the road to recovery.
And Soyuz tries to take the fast track to the International Space Station.
All that, plus we've got Isaac Stott from Stott Space here to talk about how you can get involved in asteroid mining. Stay tuned. Spacevidcast 6.07 starts now. Welcome to our live show for Saturday, March 9th. My name is Benjamin Higginbotham. With me, as always, the beautiful, lovely, wonderful, and talented Carrie Ann Higginbotham. We do have a nifty new feature on the show, and that is if you tweet us, if you go to Twitter and use the hashtag SpaceVidcast or at SpaceVidcast during the show, we have the ability to bring your tweets in live, which is kind of fun and new, so go ahead and do that while you're watching live. Obviously, that doesn't work on demand. Now, we've got a ton of space news, so let's go ahead and get started right off the bat. We've got the mission summary, a quick recap of the CRS-2 mission, commercial resupply mission that SpaceX did this last week. So here you go, take a peek.
Liftoff of Falcon 9.
Dragon ascends first stage acceleration.
Falcon 9 has cleared the tower. Starting touchdown.
Nope, go back.
MECO 1. Pass 10 MECO.
Flight computers in second stage.
Dragon ascends MECO.
MECO 2, stage 1 shutdown.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition confirmed.
AOS wallops.
On the stage one on the right-hand side.
Like a movie.
That is gorgeous. I love that shot. Go back.
MVAC shutdown
Flight
confirmed.
computers in separation state.
And this is where things don't.
Dragon
Vehicle
ascends
is-
SECO.
Vehicle is orbital. Perigee 199 kilometers, apogee 323 kilometers, inclination 51.66 degrees.
And what you're looking at there on the left side, that's looking down at the second stage. And the right side,
Cameras pointing forward.
you're looking at one of the solar panels for Dragon. And now here you're going to see Dragon separate.
Dragon set commanded.
Now, at this point, what's supposed to happen, in a little bit, I'm not exactly sure when in the countdown sequence it's supposed to happen, the thrusters on Dragon should actually start to push it into an additional orbit.
All stations, MB Mission A, successful Dragon F9 sub. Thank you for the ride, F9.
And at this point, Dragon would start making its way to the International Space Station. Unfortunately, that's not quite what happened. So there are 4 thruster pods on the side of Dragon.
I can't stop looking. It's still pretty.
It is absolutely gorgeous, right? There are those 4 thruster pods on the side of Dragon.
Yep.
And you don't need all 4 pods, and each pod has like 4 to 5 different thrusters on it. You don't need all of them to be functioning. However, 3 of the 4 didn't function when it made it into orbit, at least according to Elon's tweets. Now, the nice thing is SpaceX was able to very quickly, and when I say quickly, it did take like an hour or two. I mean, it wasn't like within 5 minutes, but they isolated the problem. They figured out what they needed to do. They did repair it. They got all 4 pods back up and functioning. And at this point, they are currently berthed with the International Space Station. So not only did they have a little bit of an issue on orbit. They're mated. They've mated to the space station. They had the anomaly, and they still had a successful mission. So awesome work with SpaceX on that. I think that's really, really cool that you can get that far into a mission and go, oh my gosh, this seems really bad, and then have SpaceX go, no, we got this.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
It was
all
just like a
care.
slight Apollo 13 moment.
A little bit.
Not to trump it up that too much, but it definitely it had people not been as prepared, I think that could have gone very, very wrong.
Yep.
And it didn't. It went very, very right, all things considered. So congratulations to them for sure.
So, next news story?
So...
Hello, I'm Michael. Hello.
Okay. We were talking about the Golden Spike Company not all that long ago. They just made their major announcement that they were going to be another asteroid mining company out there. We seem to be having a lot of those things lately.
Yep.
And, a lot of people are very excited about this kind of thing. I want to be an asteroid miner. I want to get involved. And how do you do that exactly? Well, one very small way you can do that is they are running an Indiegogo campaign, and you can donate some money towards their campaign. It's for $240,000 or $1 per mile of the distance between the Earth and the Moon. Very clever, you guys.
I see what they did there.
Right? And then on top of that, for anyone who does actually make a donation, there's also a separate kind of side little extra bonus, if you will. There's a video competition. So you can submit your own video of why you think space travel is important, why you think landing on the moon is really important, and why it's exciting. And they're doing a week-by-week competition. So to get the first week's entries in by March 15th, and then they'll go through in any of the videos that are appropriate, because we all know how the internet works. They will upload them to their own YouTube channel, which is really kind of cool. And then for anyone who wins, this week's particular prize is a lunar module model. I had to say that.
And we've got the video if you want to roll that.
Yeah,
so absolutely. Let's roll the video.
Hello, I'm Mike Lukuda. I was a designer on many of the Star Trek television shows and movies. Star Trek is special to me because I believe that space exploration is vital to the future of humans on Earth. Now, one of the most important destinations in space is the moon. It's a big, mysterious, resource-filled world practically in our backyard, but no one's been there in over 40 years. And until recently, it didn't look like that was going to change anytime soon. Enter the Golden Spike Company. Golden Spike is an innovative aerospace startup founded by an experienced team of former NASA engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, astronauts, and more. They'll use existing rockets and spacecraft to get into space, but they're already starting preliminary work on a new moon lander. Golden Spike will sell moon landing flights commercially to science, to industry, and to anyone and any nation who stands to benefit from exploring the lunar frontier. The folks behind Golden Spike know they'll need public support through social media and popular culture. That's where you and I come in. Golden Spike has launched an innovative crowdsourcing campaign through Indiegogo. Sure, they're raising corporate money, but they're also giving folks like you and me a real chance to participate in something historic. They're trying to raise $1 for every mile from the Earth to the moon, to energize public engagement and to accelerate their work. You too can be part of the team that launches the next human moon mission. Go to Indiegogo.com, search for Golden Spike, and make a contribution. Even if it's only a little, you'll be making a real difference and showing your support. I'm proud to be a member of the Golden Spike team. Please join me in helping to write the next great chapter in the history of space exploration. Thank you.
So, where can people go for more information? They did a little bit of that on the website, or on the video, but where?
Yep, actually, goldenspikeco.com gives you a ton of information on how to contact them, et cetera, for the video contest, which, again, you have to donate to their cause. and then you can make the video and submit that. Just to be very clear about that.
Yep.
And then you're submitting your video to an email address. We've got it in our wiki. It's also on their website, so you can find it there.
Awesome. And moving on, JPL's Curiosity rover, which is the largest rover humans have ever put on the surface of an alien body. And this one is specifically on Mars. It's the size of a VW Bug car. It's a car
on Mars
that we then sky craned down. Insane. They had a little bit of computer issues. There are two computers on board. We'll call it an A side and a B side. The Curiosity A side was having a problem. So there was an issue with the memory space. So what NASA did, and this is in late February, what NASA did is they put Curiosity into safe mode, and it kind of migrated over to the B side. Now, recently, as of March 5th, I believe, they've actually taken Curiosity back out of safe mode, and they're running on the B side right now. Now, that doesn't mean that we're full-on back in operations quite yet. We actually need to tell the B side computer what the status of the rover is, what some of the arms are doing, kind of get it up to date as to what the A side was doing. And then from there, NASA will make a decision as to whether they want to stay primary on the B side computer or they want to fail back to the A side computer if they can figure out what was going on there. This is not the first time something like this has happened on Mars. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong on a rover that you really can't touch and has like 7-minute minimum speed of light delay, right? I mean,
that's kind of crazy.
Right, yeah, minimum. Depends on where you are in relation to the Earth. So, yeah, but they're coming back online, so Curiosity should be ready to do full-on missions very, very soon.
Awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of that 7-minute delay, it's a terrible segue, but I'm going to use it anyhow. So the Soyuz capsules with the humans, when they leave Earth and they are trying to get to the International Space Station.
That's one of them right there.
There you go. It does seem to take them a little bit of time.
2 days.
3 days in some cases, I've heard. And one of the reasons for that, they've said, is to get the astronauts a little bit more used to microgravity, all of those sorts of things.
Yep.
The unfortunate thing that they kind of don't tell you, something that I didn't exactly realize, is that Soyuz is this teeny tiny little thing.
It is tiny.
Astronauts literally are shoulder to shoulder, and the bathroom is like right here for the most part. So it's not the most comfortable 2 to 3 days, if you will. I believe one astronaut said something along the lines, it's sort of like taking a cross-country trip in like a smart car, but with 3 people.
And never being able to leave the car.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely insane. So, the Russian space program is trying out a new thing. They've actually been able to autonomously get some just only cargo-only Soyuz capsules up to the International Space Station with some new software and some new mechanics, et cetera, et cetera. And now they're ready to try it with humans. And it's going to cut the 2 to possibly 3 days down to 6 hours.
Yep.
6 hours, that's amazing. So really huge accomplishment. This next launch is when this is all going to be tested out. I don't have the dates right in front of me. Oh, I'm sorry, March 28th from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. It should be scheduled to launch 4:43 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's 20:43 UTC on March 28th. And then it should be docking roughly 6 hours later, 10:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 2:31 UTC.
Now, this is not the new ascent profile. This is just a test. They have done it, like you said, with the Progress vehicles. They want to see if they could do it. Now they're going to try it with humans. But as you mentioned, because you have a couple days on the Soyuz vehicle to kind of acclimate yourself to microgravity, more to the point, to get through your space sickness, because 50% of people suffer from space sickness, and you just really don't want to have that on the space station if you can avoid it.
Right.
So to help get you through that, you kind of acclimate into microgravity, deal with it there. So not sure if they're going to keep it. They're going to make a decision after this next flight.
Right.
Does it work? Do they like it? So forth and so on, and then kind of go from there. All right, on that note, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, the CEO of Stott Space, Isaac Stott, will be joining us, talking about how you can help mine asteroids, so to speak. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Look into her face, determination in her eyes. She won't give up or quit or fall for little fashion lies. Filled with awesome expectation, this girl's a fascination, and nothing in her way will keep her from her destination. 'Cause she's fire walking,
And welcome back. Joining us now via Skype is the CEO of Stott Space, Isaac Stott. Isaac, welcome to Spacevidcast. I can say my own show, I promise. If we could get Isaac's mic. There we go. Sorry about that, Isaac. So welcome. Tell us a little bit about Stott Space and who Stott Space is.
Stott Space is an asteroid mining company that's focused on the common man. We really want to make the common man, we want to get them to space. We feel like asteroid mining is the next step that we need to do to start developing space, getting the infrastructure in place so that common man can work, live, vacation, travel in space.
And how are you going to go about doing that? Because we talk asteroid mining, but how does that get from mining a chunk of rock in space to vacationing in space?
Yeah, that's a great question. Asteroids contain all the elements that Earth has. Okay, essentially what we're doing is we're mining the resources already available in space. Okay, rather than hauling everything up from Earth, which as we all know is very expensive at this time, why not utilize the resources already in space? If we do that, then we can start supplying ourselves with abundant resources. At that point, new emerging industries and technologies can take advantage of that. I'm a huge advocate for 3D printing. I think that's going to be revolutionary, not only here on Earth, but also in space. If we could take advantage of that, use these resources in abundance, and use other emerging technologies such as 3D printing, then we've got an opportunity to really make a lot of infrastructure. You know, Bigelow Aerospace would be interested in building their habitats and hotels already in space rather than having to ship them up.
But how do we get there? Seems to be a missing part there, right? So you know, there's talk of doing asteroid mining in space and making that all happen, but there's also astronomical costs, and I chose my word carefully. You know, just getting to space, assuming you use a SpaceX rocket, just getting there is $100 million. That doesn't downmass anything. That doesn't do anything. That just puts you in low Earth orbit. And then from there, if you want to, say, mine an asteroid, you're going to have to get to the asteroid. So how do you overcome the challenges of cost?
Well, there's a couple ways that you can do that. As we all know, Planetary Resources has a few people with deep pockets backing them up. That's one way to do that. You know, you can get a billionaire to back you. Another way that we're doing is through Indiegogo. We want to create a movement, something that the world can unite on and get excited about. I really do feel that if we all combine together, get excited about asteroid mining, and we create a movement, and we all pitch in $35 to buy a t-shirt or whatever, then the cost doesn't seem so much. It doesn't take that many people at $35 to make this happen.
Well, it does.
It does.
I mean,
but in comparison to 7 billion people.
Oh, sure. Sure, absolutely.
So right now, we have several organizations. We actually have a couple movements out there. We have companies out there, and they're really focused on making space happen. And they have attracted all the enthusiasts of the people that are really excited about space. What we want to do is we believe that there are a lot of people out there that have an interest for space. They're not huge enthusiasts, but you know, they could be persuaded. We really want to make this movement to where not only 1 million people or 500,000 people are excited about this, we want to get the general populace excited about this. We want to make space for the common man, not just for 1 million people. We want to get everybody excited about that. And once they see the potential that space has and how it's going to change the quality of their life here on Earth as well in space, I think people will jump on board and they'll get excited about this.
So, what can people do to actually get involved in the program? You mentioned Indiegogo, but what are my options? I want to be a part of Stott Space, as it were. I want to be a part of this new space revolution. I want to help push humanity to the stars. What can I do?
At the moment right now, you can help us get this movement started. Our Indiegogo project is specifically designed to help get us that movement started. And then we want to market that to the world and get more people on board. So right now we're trying to attract the enthusiasts to support us and get this excitement going and get this movement going. And at that point, then we're going to take it to the interested people in the world. The other 80% of the world, and we want to get them on board and get them supporting this. And let's unite the world. I mean, when was the last time that the world actually united on something, came together for a common cause?
Probably back in the Apollo era, to be frank.
Exactly.
Probably Apollo 13 kind of thing.
Why has it been so long? Why don't we do something now? That's our mission right now, is to get the common man excited again, feel like they can contribute. By them buying that t-shirt, those $35 are going to go directly into making asteroid mining possible. And we want to do it this decade. We don't want to wait 20 years. We want to make things happen now.
Okay, so
and I feel like we can do that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. All of that is great. But so once you get the funding, and let's jump ahead a couple of years, and you're up in space, and you are mining asteroids. What do you do with all of that stuff? You see what I'm saying? Like, you've got all this asteroid regolith, or maybe you just have a whole big old pile of asteroids, and now what?
And now what? Those resources. So we have 4 return modules. Each one of them are going to be able to haul back at least 10 tons. Okay. We want to bring at least one back to Earth's orbit, back in Earth's atmosphere for research, so people can really get a clear understanding of what is on an asteroid. At the moment right now, we have a general, pretty good idea of what is on an asteroid. To me and my team, we personally feel like we've done enough research. We don't need to do that anymore. We just need to go over there, scoop up that dirt, bring it back, and let's use it. Even if it was the most useless dirt that we could bring back, it would still be exponential in changing what space can do for radiation shielding. Right now the ISS is in Earth's orbit for a reason, because it protects us from all the cosmic radiation. But what if we were able to use this regolith for radiation shielding? Then we've completely changed the dynamic of what we can do with that ISS, the International Space Station. We can take that to a Lagrange point. We can take that halfway to the moon. That could be a halfway point. That's just one example.
Well, a Bigelow station. To be clear, the ISS does not have the thrust capability to make it to a Lagrange point. But yes, extracting that to a Bigelow inflatable habitat, you could take to one of the Lagrange points, which are the points in between celestial bodies with that gravity is tugging kind of in either direction, so you're just kind of stuck in the middle, for those who don't know. So you're not getting pulled in either direction.
So at its simplest form, that's what we can use that dirt for, that asteroid regolith. Okay, but we all know Planetary Resources is marketed pretty well. There's a lot of valuable metals on there, platinum, gold, silver. We could actually bring that back to Earth and make a considerable profit off it. We also know that there's a lot of iron and nickel on some of these asteroids.
But, well, some of them, right? And part of what Planetary Resources is doing is they're just looking at them right now, right? Because we actually don't know what's on all of these different bodies. So we're trying to measure they are trying to measure what's on the different bodies, determine which ones are worth their time and effort to go out to and actually mine. And the thing that, we brought Planetary Resources on, we said, look, bringing this stuff back to Earth, not easy. You can't just bring it back. So what are you going to do? And their comment was, the most valuable resource out there is water. We're looking for water, and we want to leave it in space and use it in space. So you had mentioned bringing stuff back, but so two-part question. One, how are you going to bring stuff back? We can't even do that with the space station right now, let alone huge masses of payload from a asteroid. And then the second question is, if you don't bring it back, what would you do? You mentioned regolith, but what above and beyond would you do with regolith?
So bringing it back into Earth, two of these, actually I believe all four of them are going to be designed to come back into Earth's atmosphere if we need it. For the most part, though, we really do want to keep it in orbit. We want to bring it back into orbit, and that's where we want to utilize it. Planetary Resources made a great statement about water. Water is very valuable in space. You know, life support, propulsion. And I forgot what your other question was. There was another question you had.
No, you got it. So, you know, what else would you use Meteor for in space, or in a captured celestial body? What else would you use it for other than bringing it back to Earth? Because bringing it back to Earth is probably the hardest thing of that entire profile. You consider how much you can down mass on even a shuttle, and it's a fraction of what you can up mass. So it's not, the hard part isn't getting stuff up to space, although that is hard too. The harder part is getting stuff back and actually being able to, you know, have it be useful. Now, one other question, and this is going to be brought up, I think you're planning on capturing an asteroid and bringing it into Earth orbit. Is that correct?
Originally, that's what we had planned. Our business model has completely changed to the fact that we're just going to bring a mining module to the asteroid. We're going to mine from there, and then we're going to have 4 return vehicles bringing back 10 tons of regolith each.
And I think we've got a shot. You sent over a shot of the, in your video playlist right now, of the mining module. I think this is that what you're looking to send up, or artist?
Yeah, that is a conceptual design of ours. So we actually just brought on an animator, a really good one, and he should have something by Monday that'll really be able to show you the detail and the realism of what we have envisioned.
And I think we also have a mission profile as well, if you want to call that up. I'm not sure how well this is going to come across on a webcast, but we'll give it a shot and see. Maybe you can just kind of describe it for people.
Okay, so this kind of explains to the left here the current economy of space. Right now, you know, we have satellites, we have the ISS, communication, telescopes. That's pretty much what we have right now. That's our economy in space. Okay? To the right over here, this is what happens when we bring abundant resources into Earth's orbit. Whether that's from the moon, Mars, or asteroids. Obviously, Stott Space feels that asteroids is the most feasible and relevant form of extraterrestrial mining. We bring those abundant resources into Earth's orbit. And now we've actually have several opportunities and a lot more options to develop this economy in space. So at the top here, we have our refineries, you know, the processing plants that are going to be able to, you know, break down individual elements and distribute the metals, the chemicals, the volatiles. Over here to the right, that's where your manufacturing capabilities are going to be at. That's, you know, for example, a 3D printer facility would be at, where they're going to be able to utilize those resources and build infrastructure, whether that's a space hotel or spaceships. We all love to hear about that. Transport vehicles, more satellites. We could also repair satellites, the ISS, at this point. And as you see that, it starts to create a flowing economy. Everything just starts to fit into where we're filling in the missing gaps right now. Because right now we just have to haul everything up from space. Once we start utilizing the resources in space, things change.
All right, so before we let you go, just 2 more quick questions. I assume you've got different goals, different milestones that you need to meet from a funding standpoint, at least, right? You're not going to try to get all of the money for a launch and the spacecraft and the all at once. You kind of, you know, you need the business operation stuff first, and then you kind of go from there, and it snowballs. So, what is your first milestone? How close are you to it, and where can people go to help with that?
That's a great question. So our first major milestone, or not our milestone, but our focus for this year. So we really want to get the excitement of the populace on board with this movement. We want to feel like they can contribute, whether that's buying a shirt or if they actually have talents and skills or ideas that they want to be a part of and jump on the team. You know, right now there are areas that we're looking for talent. At the moment, we're just in the startup phase, so we'd bring them on with equity. But as we get this movement going, we start getting some money coming in. Not only are we going to bring the money in from the populace, but I really do feel like that's going to attract a lot of attention from the people with the deep pockets. They're going to want to be involved in this. And at that point, we're really going to be able to start doing some serious work. So the movement right now, as well as our in-depth feasibility study, we want to get down to the nuts and bolts. We've got our conceptual design, we've got our off-the-shelf technology that we want to use. Now we want to get down to the nuts and bolts, the blueprint, you know, to where we can start building and testing. So that's pretty much our focus right now at this point.
And then my last question is, how is it going up till now, right? We're several months into the new year. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Actually, we made a press release a couple weeks ago. It's brought in a lot of attention, a lot of talent, a lot of ideas. I'm currently talking to one company that I don't want to specify on, but we should have something pretty exciting for the public to announce within a month. But we're collaborating and working on what we can do as a business relationship to really get this moving, get this going. So right now it's exciting. So
that's awesome. So people can get more information at I believe it's stottspace.com, correct? Mm-hmm. And there's also, I believe on there, you've also got links to your Indiegogo campaign and a bunch of the stuff that we just talked about as well.
And a lot of merchandise is available as well. So, you know, anything from $6, I believe, up to like $20,000. The T-shirt is nowhere near the $20,000 range for you guys who are interested.
That'd be very expensive. It better be gold laced.
I know, but there's
actually,
go ahead.
There's some really cool some perks in there. There's at the $250 level, you can get your name engraved on the mining module, so you could have your name set over to an asteroid, or you could have it on the return vehicle where it'd be sent back. So some pretty cool perks. You need to check them out.
Get a camera up there somehow so you can actually take pictures of people's names with the asteroid in the background, so they can go, oh my god, my name's in freaking space.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a lot of fun, and it's very, very cool ideas.
Yeah, for sure. We really want to take advantage of that, cameras and all. So we actually want to make it to where we have a camera to where people can pay so they can have control of that camera and they can look around and do whatever they want.
All right, awesome. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today and telling us about the program. Like I said, stottspace.com, and it's an interesting idea. And I want to, before you go, I want to point out, it's a funding thing. Everyone in aerospace is used to, everyone has big ideas and grand ideas. It all comes down to funding, and you never know who's actually going to get the funding. So if you're watching this going, he's not going to be able to do it, you can't compete with planetary resources, you can't compete with deep space. This is a brand new industry and everyone can compete. So it just depends on who's going to get those funding dollars first and be able to maintain that leadership role there. Now, that's not the only one, right? I mean, many companies can do it, but in aerospace, it all comes down to dollars. So you never know. And we've been talking a lot about, what am I trying to say? Crowd-funded space.
Oh, for
and
sure.
we brought you on because this is something that a lot of people on the show were interested in. And I think if there is a crowd-funded thing that would work in space, this seems like the most viable, or at least one of the more viable, for actually going out there and getting stuff done. Isaac, thank you so much for your time today. If you have more time, feel free to stay on for the After Dark show. Otherwise, we're going to let you go. And for everyone watching live, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, viewer comments from last week. We'll be right back.
Witness the stunning development on the surface of Mars. Resourceful, mysterious, and fascinating planet. Every day, the future of mankind is being shaped by the hands of countless engineers and architects who work tirelessly on terraforming the hostile atmosphere of Mars. transformation is happening at a blazing pace, and it won't take long before all of us can find exciting new life on Mars.
I absolutely love that commercial. You found that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Do you remember
isn't it?
I wanted to bring up the author's name and I forgot who it is.
I don't remember. I'm not even sure I can pronounce his name.
It's Lucas Vojir, Vojir.
Yeah, and his personal website, I believe, is eat-garlic.com. And he's got a blog, and he's this is what he does for a living, but this was just kind of a fun little interesting thing to do. And I love it. I love it.
I think we should actually have him do some stuff for Spacevidcast, because that's exactly the kind of feel we want, that yesterday's tomorrow, hopeful look for the future, right? It's all about the hopeful look for the future. We are in the most amazing time right now where a company like Stott Space or Planetary Resources or can actually come out and say, you know, let's make this happen.
For sure.
And they're not necessarily crazy. SpaceX was a bunch of amateur rocket guys. Well, amateur's too strong. Garage. What am I trying to say? Garage rocket scientists.
Yeah, I
right?
suppose.
I mean, they kind of did this on the side, and look at where they're at now. So. Elon's billions didn't hurt, but you get the idea. So it comes down to money, dude. I'm telling you, it's all about the money. If you got the money, because it's just expensive and hard to do. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments from last week's show. This one comes from Quarkspin. He says, okay, after much thought, here's my bold prediction for the Google Lunar X Prize. Basically, he says, I think there will be at least one team that makes an attempt, maybe two, but will be unsuccessful.
Yeah, he's predicting that the prize is going to go unclaimed by the end of 2015.
I don't necessarily disagree with him. And he's very clear. He hopes he's wrong, right? And I will agree. I hope we're wrong, too. But
he even put on the table 3 to 4 double-decker moon pies with nothing to drink as penance if he's wrong.
We've got him.
Completely understand Quarkspin, and that is quite the penance.
All right, right here. If he's right or wrong.
If he's wrong.
If he's wrong, we've got right here 4 double-decker moon pies with your name.
14 of them, are you kidding?
With your name on them right here. All without RC Cola, no sustenance from liquid. You will have to. This will absorb all of the liquid in your body.
But you know, as he says, you know, what these teams are attempting is really amazing. And I do kind of agree with Quarkspin on that.
Yeah.
Not to burst anyone's bubble, and again, I also hope that I'm very, very wrong. But I would not be entirely surprised by that prediction becoming true.
In our last show, we talked about the Antares hot fire test, and then shortly thereafter, SpaceX had a static fire. So this question comes from George. What is the difference between a static fire and a hot fire test? The difference is purely the name. They're essentially the exact same thing. They are both clamping down on the vehicle, testing the engine, and letting it go. So you could static fire for however long you want, hot fire for however long you want. They're the same thing.
That's kind of like the difference between sneakers and tennis shoes.
Sneakers and tennis shoes, exactly. It's whatever phraseology you would like to use. This one comes from Brendan Patton. The two commercial companies, this was Planetary Resources and
Deep Space Industries.
Deep Space Industries, so like Golden Spike. No. Two commercial companies will also spike competition. I see what he did there. He added the third one in, Golden Spike. See what he did there? Spike competition. You know, and as we talked with Isaac Stott today, you know, now there's a third company looking to do some of this stuff, and it's just a really exciting time.
Well, it's no fun when you're the only kid playing in the yard, man.
No, absolutely, right?
And you want to have somebody else to compete against.
Competition shows that there may actually be a business plan there, too.
Exactly.
It means that more than one person sees this. It's more than one crazy guy going, I'm going to go grab asteroids.
To be fair, though, Chris did sound a little crazy when he said he wanted to be an asteroid miner.
Yes, but it sounds crazy now, but in like 20 years, it might be the norm.
But you know, growing up, I always wanted to work in space, and so I decided to mine asteroids. Wait, what?
This is basically 3 comments. This was, my partner and I missed the old intro. Any chances of bringing it back? No, the old intro is dead, but you're welcome. The new intro aired this week. I loved volume too high, whole house listening to while the video buffered, excitement rising, and I'll sit down to watch. So it'd be awesome if the text is readable even on lower resolutions too, and that is regards to our old Open where we had the teeny tiny text. In our new Open, we've made it conveniently so that it's not readable on any resolution. No. All right. And it's not designed to be readable. It's designed to be cool and inspirational. It's designed to get you excited about space. And remember that...
How inspirational is when you're like, wait, what does that say?
Well, we did some really cool stuff in the past, but our coolest stuff is yet to come, right? So it's not about reading what we did in the past. It's about kind of remember that and going, look at how we've been building up to all these other awesome, cool things. And this comes from AJ, and this comment is you guys should apply with Dennis Tito, be the couple he's looking for, and do Spacevidcast from the Inspiration Mars mission in the 2018-2019 time frame.
I think by that time we're going to be too old to qualify.
Huh? Really? I actually don't necessarily think that's a bad idea. I'm not sure.
Wait. I disagree. I don't want to be broadcasting for 500 days.
Well, can we still do it weekly?
Weekly is fine. Weekly's fine. Daily, I had heard somebody, and it's probably going to be
like a 5-minute update every day.
I'm just saying.
Get people
really.
Space. We're still in space. Things are still floating around.
Oh, I think he's getting fatter.
I don't know how that's possible. There's no fat food on this.
Oh God. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
If somebody wants to put our name in the hat, I guess that'll be okay. But man, 500 days? We can't even last 12 hours of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for those of you who remember our coverage of STS-135, that was fun. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Actually, it's funny. Nate brought that up as well. He tweeted that out saying he was looking for... Dennis Tito's looking for a man couple to fly around Mars.
Yeah, so the only, sort of good thing about that... Well, right, it's there. Good... I'm sorry. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's good and bad to a certain extent because the whole couple thing, I believe some of the intent is to go up as 2 and come back as 3. And Ben
I don't think that's entirely the
intent. Not having children. But think about that, right? It would be our new Martian overlord. The child... Right?
Well, it wouldn't be born on Mars. It'd be born in space.
No, it wouldn't be born on Mars. No, I understand that.
All right. On that note, I'd like to thank everyone so much for watching. Spacevidcast After Dark is up next. And if you'd like to watch After Dark on demand after the fact, you can feel free to do that using Spacevidcast Epic. Epic is what helps us pay for the show and the shiny, fancy new toys that we're using to make all of this go. It starts at something like $8.33 per month. And then that's if you do a year in advance, $100 a year, or $10 a month if we want to just do month after month. And there. Otherwise, if you're watching it there, that's how I decided. That's how I decided to close that. And there.
And
no,
there
it actually it does. It helps us quite a bit, right?
It does.
Because we need to be able to do things like buy more cameras. We want to be able to do some more stuff.
We need to be able to pay our director.
Although we're going to slap him a little bit for the SpaceX.
That
oh yeah,
was hilarious.
I think we're going to leave it in exactly as that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Epic is going to so be worth it this month.
Absolutely, Epic's going to be fun. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Nope, go back.